I did not have a good time in the Cowboys-Chargers preseason matchup. That the worst part wasn't even the Trey Lance 5 interceptions, probably the Daron Bland injury news, an hour before, which we broke down previously on the channel. Check out that instant reaction video if you haven't already. Roster cuts also coming for the Cowboys over the course of the next 48-ish hours. There will begin to be moves here by the Cowboys. We will have you covered with the news as it happens. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/CowboysTV. We're going to break down some winners and losers. First up, a winner that didn't even play in the football game. That is Cooper Beebe, the center for the Dallas Cowboys. Overall, he didn't play. There's no better indication of you're going to be our starter than if the two guys in the battle, one of them plays and one of them doesn't. A clear-cut indication Cooper Beebe is your starting center, barring disastrous injury news, week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. He took that job in like a 2 weeks. When he went from he was behind Brock Hoffman to starting in 2 weeks. Good for Beebe. I think it's the best move for the Cowboys as well. Sticking on the offensive line. Look, I'm doing this in an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, after the live show wrapped up. How many times did you guys notice a bad rep from Awesome Richards and or Josh Ball? Not very many. Nathan Thomas did not play. Feels like an IR stash coming up there for the Cowboys. Both guys I thought played pretty well at left guard and left tackle back-to-back weeks. Richards left guard and left tackle. Ball more just straight up left tackle. I think both those guys going to be on the roster over Matt Waletzko. The question for me, and I still don't know if I fully know the answer, God forbid, knock on wood, something happens to Tyler Guyton against the Browns. Who subs in at left tackle? I think both guys are right now viable options. I might not like Josh Ball the person, but the football player's been pretty good. So pick a left tackle. AR for Awesome Richards. JB for Josh Ball. Which left tackle, in a case of emergency, break that glass, are you playing? It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. AR or JB. Next up is Ryan Flournoy. If you have his stats, feel free to go to that. So I don't know if we do or not. Look, if you're going to carry a sixth receiver, it has to be Ryan Flournoy. He has outplayed Jalen Cropper. He has outplayed Racey McMath. He has outplayed Tyron Billy Johnson. I thought that end zone fade was gorgeous. A good throw by Trey Lance, who we will talk about later on in today's show. But the ball was over the bucket. He did his job. Grab it and fall down. Get those feet and knees in bounds. He's too athletic. There's too much potential upside for me to jeopardize risking him to waivers. If it comes down to am I going to keep Ryan Flournoy or Peyton Hendershot? Ryan Flournoy or Princeton Fan? Give me Ryan Flournoy. I think that's actually a bit of a no-brainer for the Dallas Cowboys. I like what I've seen from him. We know how the Cowboys feel about their overall, their draft picks, how much they like their guys. After missing a big portion of camp in the first preseason game, he's been what I was looking for in the last 2 preseason games. I'm putting Flournoy on this roster. Even if he is a inactive stash each week, I got to put him on my 53. Now, today's show is made possible by Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Filters out the fluff, so you're only getting great deals on incredible seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of other tickets. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price, no matter what. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time is committed to ensuring you have an astounding experience when buying from Game Time. They have the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, so you know that they have your back. Download the Game Time app today, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But again, create your account, redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price guaranteed. Next up is safety Julius Wood. I mentioned this on our post-game reaction show. It might suck to cut him. Of all the guys I think are realistically in danger of being cut, or I think are going to be cut, Wood is the one that I'm like, oh boy, you're going to risk losing him? Like, he's played every game he makes a play. Sometimes it's right place, right time. That interception today was, double tip drill, right place, right time. But I think that more often than not, being at the right place and the right time comes from hard work, comes from studying. I love what I've seen from Julius Wood. I want him on my practice squad this year, and then probably on my active roster next year. The running back battle. I don't know how much has really been cleared away. Malik Davis played like the first quarter, third quarter. Deuce Vaughn played the first half. Royce Freeman played second quarter, third quarter. Not like clear delineation. Vaughn and Davis were both back there on returns. I saw Royce Freeman out there on regular special teams coverage stuff. If I had to power rank them myself, I'd go Deuce Vaughn 1. Take your pick between Royce Freeman and Malik Davis 2. The Cowboys, maybe it's Deuce Vaughn's 1 or 2, and then Malik Davis is also 1 or 2. I think Freeman is behind. Freeman didn't play in the first quarter. They did not bring him out until later in the game. Again, every time Deuce Vaughn plays in the preseason, he looks pretty good. He had 9 carries for 53 yards. That's really good efficiency. He had, Trey Lance, who again we will get to later on in today's show, just missed him. I saw someone claim, it's because Deuce Vaughn's short. No. If your 5'5" running back has to jump for a pass, I don't care if they're 5'5" or 5'9". It's a bad throw. Come on. Hit him in the chest on a wide open flat route. I think Deuce Vaughn has to be on this roster. And if you want to keep another back behind Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, I'll give the edge to Malik Davis. I think he offers you special team stuff. He's been your up man, your personal protector on returns or on kickoffs. That matters. Who would you keep? It is democracy. I believe in allowing you guys to sound off with your opinions. DV for Deuce Vaughn, RF for Royce Freeman, or MD for Malik Davis. Let me know in the comments of today's show. We will get to the negative side of this, but I'm going to call Caelen Carson a winner. We're kind of bookending our winners here, right? He ain't play. Why didn't he play, Tom? He's going to start. That is clear to me. And yeah, he only did the wisdom tooth last week. It was a full week ago. He's fine. Caelen Carson did not play today because the Cowboys lost Daron Bland. They're going to miss him for 4 to 6 games, maybe 7 games, worst case scenario. And Carson, I think, is going to start at opposite corner. He did not play. Eric Scott played. Andrew Booth played. Other corners played. Carson did not. We can learn a lot from who plays and who does not play in these preseason games. So name a Cowboys winner. We'll stay positive here in the comments section of today's show. Let me know a Cowboys winner from the preseason finale. We'll spend a lot of time on 2 of these losers here. First up is Daron Bland. And make no mistake, this sucks. Daron Bland is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks, or 4 to 6 games, 6 to 8 weeks with a stress fracture in his foot. Worst case, he's going to miss 7 weeks and 6 games. They'll get him back after the bye in week 7. This stinks. Notice discomfort in his foot. Undergoes an MRI after Wednesday, and boom, has a stress fracture. It sucks. It especially sucks because Stephon Gilmore signed about a week ago. I do want to make this point as someone who has not been nice to the Cowboys front office. Even if this had happened before the Stephon Gilmore injury, I don't know if you would have signed him. And the reason being is that Bland's going to miss a quarter of the season. When he's back, he's starting. Can the Cowboys find a corner who is okay with starting for 5 games, whatever it ends up being, and then just sitting after that? I don't know. There are some notable veterans who are unsigned. Xavien Howard was a great player at one point for Miami, has declined. I think Adoree Jackson offers some fun inside-outside flex potentially, return potential value, although he's getting up there in age, so probably not as much as maybe he used to be at a USC. He's an option. Patrick Peterson knows Mike Zimmer. That's worth mentioning, but he was almost a safety last year for Pittsburgh. Marcus Peters, again, a feast or famine corner who has not been very good the last 2 years. Ahkello Witherspoon, J.C. Jackson is suspended. All these guys are, if you sign these guys, I am not going to complain. I also know, come week 9, it's going to be Trayvon Diggs, Daron Bland, and Jordan Lewis. The Cowboys have committed to that trio on the cornerback depth chart. So does Xavien Howard, does Patrick Peterson, does Adoree Jackson want to say, you know what? I'll start for 6 games, whatever it ends up being, and then I'll ride the pine. I don't think Stephon Gilmore would have. If this injury happened the day before Stephon Gilmore signed, I think it would have still gone to Minnesota. So I will not hold that against the Cowboys. I'll hold plenty of other things against the Cowboys. But that one, not in particular. Jerry Jones said post-game they're not looking to add a corner. We'll see about that or not. Do you think they will end up adding one? Y for yes and for no in the comments section. Look, I might be reading too far into this, but Eric Scott ain't play that much. They played Josh Butler and Andrew Booth over him, another inconsistent game out of Andrew Booth. But Scott wasn't out there outside of red zone stuff. Is he banged up? Or, I suspect more likely, is he just not on this team right now? That is something that raises a red flag for me. Let's go to our final player here. That is, or not our final player, our third to last player. That is Trey Lance, the quarterback. Look, you can't throw 5 interceptions in a preseason game and not be on the losers list. I don't care who you are. There were plenty of things that just weren't good enough out of Trey Lance. And it was a major disappointment. He ran the ball well. Honestly, like 80, 75, 70, like most of those plays were fine. Threw 5 interceptions. I got people online arguing with me that Lance is still better than Dak because Dak's bad in the playoffs. We can be mad about the playoff stuff. Let's not pretend that 5 interceptions in 1 preseason game is the same as 7 career playoffs. Stop it. Stop it. Lance was bad today. I wanted him to be QB2. Frankly, it's an L for me. Because I liked Lance coming out. I missed. I was wrong. I'm mad about that. I'm disappointed in Lance. That was a bad game. There are other supporting factors. Maybe one of those INTs is not his fault. He threw it right to the DB 4 different times. He was bad. Cooper Rush's quarterback too. I don't like saying that. I wanted it to be different. I wanted growth in game 3. I was a bit more defensive of Lance than I think some others were after the second game. We can't lie, guys. He was bad. No, you don't have an option beyond Dak Prescott to actually win you games right now. You don't. There's no one in the pipeline for 2025. It's a real issue for Dallas long-term and short-term. Look, if you waste the 4th-round pick, you waste the 4th-round pick. You probably wasted one on Viliami Fehoko too. How about that for a transition there, Stone? Where is he? He had a tackle today. Great. They gave him credit for a pass breakup. I don't know if it was actually him, but whatever. He got some pressure on that play. Dan Quinn, come pick up your son. Come get him. They played him defensive end and defensive tackle. He played a bunch of snaps. How many of you guys noticed him? I noticed him on one play, the first Chargers play of the game. He's got edge contain. He doesn't maintain it. Willie Harvey gets a terrible angle. Andrew Booth is out of bounds for some reason. 70-yard touchdown run. I wasn't as high on Fehoko, but I had a 5th-round grade on him. I thought he'd be way more impactful. He hasn't been. You got issues on this Cowboys team. Got to accept it. And Fehoko, maybe you can trade him. That's the best case scenario at this point, I think.